J. So today's title of today's segment is Got Salt. So I'm gonna start a poll. How much salt do you ingest? I'm gonna do Americans eat lots of salt. Alright, so I put a poll up there, XFJ. Do Americans eat a lot of salt? You betcha. So I want to go ahead and talk about, so in this segment, we're going to break it down in a couple things. First things first, I want to talk about salt and how much salt Americans ingest daily. And what the recommended, or RDI, recommended daily intake is of salt. You'd be surprised how much salt. And then I want to talk about the different foods that have the different salts in them. We'll do like a case in point, an example of an actual drink that everybody drinks that has tons of salt in it. So just to start our segment today, do you guys know why people eat so much salt? Sodium is present in many foods, and it can be added for a variety of reasons. But the number one thing and the number one reason why there's just so much salt in foods is that people want to use it as a preservative. It actually ended up back in ancient Egypt, where in ancient Romans, where they used to actually preserve their food in these trenches with like salt in them. Look it up. I'm not no joke. And they would put salt in the food. They would have like salt, a layer of salt, and they would have food, and then they have a layer of salt again. It's an amazing preservative that enhances flavor and also retains moisture. Some foods are really high in sodium, and what I say, like a rule of thumb, is if you can go to the grocery store, I would stay in the peripheries of the store, and that's what I mean, the quadrants of the store. I do not go into those aisles, because if you go in those aisles, you are going to find that junk food. So Americans do eat lots of salt. I put that in the poll. Do Americans eat lots of salt? Yes or no? But a big idea is, canned soups. Americans eat a lot of canned soup. And I'm going to throw this fact right out now. 1 cup, and I'm not saying the whole can, 1 cup of canned soup typically contains 700 to 800 milligrams of sodium. That is 30 to 40% of your recommended daily intake of salt. I was actually really hungry one day, and I had one of those canned soups, and boy, I feel like not good. I felt like crap because of all the salt in there and how much water you retain after you eat that salt. So I want to know, I'm looking at the polls. Hey, everyone that joined, appreciate you joining. Looking at the polls, do Americans eat lots of salt? And I got a 50-50 split. If you have not hit that subscribe button to XFJ, definitely hit subscribe so you could be in the loop with all my fast clips. I try not to make these really long so you get what you need and just make people live happier and better lives. Thank you, Typical Monk VR, Monkver. Really appreciate you subscribing. So canned soups, bad for you. What I do is when I get a canned soup, I like to actually put the soup into the pot, and then I actually add another cup of water to dilute the soup, but it's still salty. Notifications on, appreciate that. Next is ham. Typical lunch meats and processed meats are just horrible for your body, especially for your colon, because of all like processing food. But ham, got another fact for you all. A 3-ounce serving of roasted ham contains 1,117 milligrams of sodium. So that's only 3 ounces, which again is like 50% of your daily intake. So Yeah, it is just insane. And then, sandwiches. You go to Subway. You say, well, you know what? I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna go to Subway. I'm gonna get myself a sub, and you're looking at over like 5,000 milligrams of salt. And then, yeah, definitely you are chugging that water, and you're thirsty, and you just feel fatigue when you eat a lot of salt. Some foods that don't taste salty can still be high in sodium. Let me give you a case in point. A gallon of milk. A gallon of milk. Let's look at how much a gallon of milk has. 1 gallon of milk. 1 gallon of milk has 125 milligrams of salt for 1 cup. That's 5% of daily total intake for 1 cup. And then this is not even whole milk. This is 1% milk. Crazy. So 1% milk. Milks, cheeses, any of that. Just to recap, if you haven't subscribed to Extreme Fitness Junkies, make sure you subscribe. Appreciate you all in the chat. Let's keep the chat clean. This is all about helping each other. If you all have any suggestions, any advice, I definitely would take it. If you're gonna do those nonsense comments, I appreciate it. If you just don't even bother, don't waste your time. We're here at Extreme Fitness Junkies. We're here to help each other out. We're a community here. So we appreciate you being respectful and just going with the flow, and let's help each other out, live a better life. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the comments. Do I eat cheese? Of course. Lactose intolerant? No, I eat everything. Yep. So okay, so 7 Chris, I don't know that answer. Moving on. Again, let's keep it to the point. But a lot of people ask, is sodium good or bad for you? This is the last segment of the last topic I want to hit today. Is sodium good and bad? What do you all think? Let's hear it in the chat. Is sodium good or bad for you? What do you think? I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Appreciate y'all participating. I'm going to start a poll. Is sodium good or bad for, is good for you? Or is it good for you? Is it good for you? I talked about the bad, but is it good for you? I hear, oh yeah, so here, thank you. Appreciate Santa, sodium is not bad. Yes, you are right. Sugar is, yeah, definitely sugar. If you look at my other live segments, I talk about CrossFit, and sugar is one of the main killers. 70% of people in the United States die of these chronic diseases because of sugar. Really appreciate that, Sandus, for bringing that up. It's bad. Yes, it's bad. We all need sodium, but it's too much. Yeah, Maggie, I'm actually going to post that. Ooh, that is, I'm going to pin that message. I like to pin my fans, but definitely we all need sodium, but not too much. Your friends up north, appreciate that. So your body needs a small amount of sodium to work properly, but too much sodium is bad for your health. There's many different forms of sodium. Most sodium comes from processed and restaurant food. Don't get me started. That restaurant food will kill you. There's just so much processed stuff in restaurant food. Yeah, it's super good. It tastes amazing. It's easy to pick up, but restaurant food is hardcore. So, any other questions? Sugar is good. Yeah, sugar is not good. Too much sugar is not good. So, want to finally wrap it up with like some foods that I would personally stay away from, and that is meats, poultry, fish, legumes, eggs, and nuts. smoke cured salted cans, meats, fish, frozen preserved stuff. That's all garbage. Anything that has a long shelf life is not going to be good for you. Definitely would discontinue any of that. Remember what I said, when you go to the grocery store, you stay in the peripheral, round and round. All right. Appreciate it. Sugar is not good, but it tastes good. Yeah, Troll Edits, you're right. 100% hit it on the head. It is amazing. I am an addict to sugar, but it is not good for you. So let's look at the poll before we close out for tonight. 60% is sodium good for you? Yeah, it is, but not too much. Moderation. So I appreciate you all. For our viewers, please make sure you hit that subscribe. I try to keep these succinct. We want to keep each other going. We want to keep each other motivated. So hit that subscribe button on Extreme Fitness Junkies, and check out other clips and lives. And this weekend, we're going to go ahead and go live on some foods, actually cooking healthy in the kitchen. Yeah, Troll Addict, you win the grand prize. You're the only one here. Appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Maggie. Peace out.